Gentlemen, biggies, we're back. This is your Week 9 recap show. And as always, I'm your host. I'm your commish. It is my absolute honor to be here. I am Timmy Westside. Let's get into it. Week 9 saw the biggest point discrepancy from the winners to the losers. And it was interesting. The top 3 teams beat up on the bottom 3 teams. If you tallied their combined scores, the winning teams had 642 points, while the losers had 462 points. Quick math guy, 180 points difference. Really was not close after Friday. The closest game was 32-point difference, so it was kind of a wash. But if there's half glass full mentality for the losers, it's that every team in this league, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, is separated by one game. So it doesn't matter if you're at the top of the leaderboard, the bottom, or in the middle. Everyone's got a big game. It's all tight, and it should make for a hell of a second half. Because starting this week, we've reached the top of the mountain. Week 10. After that, it's downhill skiing. Let's go, boys. It's going to be a fight to the finish. Let's get into it with your commish, your boy, Timmy Westside, taking on the Breakfast Club. If you remember last week, this was titled the Fork in the Road game. Timmy Westside was on a 2-game skid. Lair Bear was on a 2-game winning streak. 2 teams opposite ends of the standings headed in opposite directions. Which path were we going to go? I take the winning one. 214.6 to 133.7. Let's talk about Lair Bear first. Really tough week for the kid. He'd been on a heater, snapped. 133 is his lowest output in 3 weeks. So now he falls to 3 and 6. Can't get on him that much. Really did run into a buzz saw. The team on the other side was raring to go this week, needed it in a big spot, and they delivered. Again, there's no tummy sticks here, but can't get on him too bad. One bad week, had been playing well. It's good to see that Austin Matthews, ya dog, is still being a dog. 19.8 points led the way. Listen, no poop your pants scale this week. If we bring it back every week, people are gonna get tired of it. He deserves 1 pass for 1 week. He's 3 and 6. If he loses again next week, maybe there's a little poop in his pants. I don't know. Timmy Westside, on the other hand, delivered his highest point total of the year. I actually went back and looked. They had changed one of my weeks to 199.9 points. So this was the first time I ever eclipsed that 200-point mark. Again, tough spot for Laird, no chance of winning. Snapping my 2-game winning streak, and my big 3 scores, all over 20. Trouba, the wrecking ball apparently, Mark Stone, and our captain Brady Tkachuk. We were there. We saw him. He looked up in the stands and said, "Oh, boys, that's the commish. That's Timbo. That's my coach. I got to put on a show." And he does. He delivers. Hat trick, prime time, Saturday matinee. Let's go. Gets my team off the schneid. I needed it to stay atop of the table. Talking about top of the table. Let's move on to our next matchup. The quote-unquote so hot matchup. We got to do it, boys. We got to talk about it. Let's get past these next 2 minutes. Rubbing them off. The Borland backhanders. Can't be stopped. Won't be stopped. 237.4 points against the Rubber Puckies. Talking about running into a buzzsaw. 169.8. Game over from Monday Nighter. Let's talk about the champ because he's earned it. In sports, there are these moments of masterful glimpses of pure perfection. The immaculate inning in baseball. 9 pitches, 3 strikes a pop. You're out. Back to the dugout. The Ovechkin trick. Hat trick of hat tricks. Hat trick of hat tricks. That's tough to say. Secretariat winning by 31 lengths at the Belmont to claim the Triple Crown. The 1972 Miami Dolphins completing the only undefeated championship winning season in NFL history. Enter stage right. The Borland Backhanders 2021 trip around the world. Beating us all. Started with Bootsy. Then Kenny, maybe not. He went through Bootsy, then Kenny, then Jake, then me, then Lair. He's done it. No one's been able to stop this kid. This week, he took a trip down south. Carolina led the way. Aho, 22.6 points. Freddie Anderson, 21.4 points. You have to win two. You have to win two till we throw out that D word. Don't be nasty. I don't want to say it. I don't want to think it. We got to stop him, boys. Rubber Puckies could not stop him this week. 169.8. You know what? He scratched, he clawed his way out of the basement. But now, all of a sudden, he's on a 2-game losing streak. This week, no player at all actually, eclipsed that 20-point mark. And you know, your dogs got to be dogs for you to have a chance. And no one stepped up this week in a big spot. It's gut check time, kid. You battled to get out of the basement. You went on a tear, winning streak. You were hot. You were so hot. Now all of a sudden, you've dropped 2 straight. As I said, which way you gonna go? Don't go back. Keep moving forward. And let's move forward to the Brother Bowl. The comeback kid taking on Burt Macklin's squad. Comeback kid 190 to 158.7. Let's just get it over with. If Shauner's run through the world, or however we coined it, is that impressive, it's equally as embarrassing to lose now 6 straight. Burt Macklin's squad falls to 2-7. Doing a little bit more digging into his team, because not bad up front. Pacioretty, 21.8. Vasilevsky, we always say, your goalie's got to lead the way. But after that, he had 12 skaters that didn't get double-digit points. His secondary scoring last week was atrocious. Don't really want to say anything more because I play him this week and I'm going to mush myself. So, Jake, keep doing what you're doing, buddy. Fix it, bud. 2-7. As I said earlier, no one's out of this. No matter how bad you did last week or the week before, the week before, the week before, the week before, doesn't matter. You're still one game. One game at a time can change everything. Get it together. Let's go. Now, let's move on to the comeback kid. 190. Well done, kiddo. Another impressive win. That's now back-to-back. Now, listen. 5 weeks ago, he started a 3-game skid. And we were chirping him. We were going, Bootsy, what are you doing? Bad trade. Losing this game, that game. Now, all of a sudden, last week, he eclipsed that 200-point barrier. And this week, 190. Rattles off another nice win. Rantanen, complete dog, 22.2. Panarin, D-Taves, Dirk Taves, David Taves, whatever. didn't matter. The comeback kid starting to come back. Now, I caught up with the kid this just moments ago, talking about, his current state of affairs, and looking ahead at next week's big matchup versus the champ. Let's take a listen. Quick couple questions here. What has been the biggest difference inside the locker room?
Thanks, Tim, for having me, first of all, on the program. I really appreciate that. I've been following you guys for a long time, and first-time interview, so I'm really excited to be on here. I'd say the biggest thing in the locker room that's been the biggest turning point here is really getting the goaltending situation locked down. Hellebuck playing some key games there with 11.5 points last week for me in 2 games. So he's really turning it on and giving me rock solid starts there. I'd also say, my boys up front, I made some key acquisitions with the Taves picking them up. He had 17 points for me last week. Jordan Kyrou's been really good. Some of my guys that I drafted that weren't performing are now performing. Tavares, Panarin, Mikko Rantanen now with McKinnon being back. He's just going to be picking them up. So I'd say, it's just a team effort, a solid team effort all around.
Well done, buddy. Now, listen, big week coming up this week against, you know them, you love them, you kind of hate them, though, too, the Bourland Backhanders. There's a lot of history here. You two going back and forth, big trade, can kind of, change our entire season. I talked to him early this morning, and he said, heading into this week, his guys are, and I quote, looking to put my second splooge on the old comeback kids back from the front. What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are we need to get that kid a dictionary, put him in grammar school. That sentence was tough to follow, but listen, the Bourland buttfuckers are going to be getting nice comeuppance this week. Nice comeuppance. But you know what? I wish him all the best. I'm not about getting down in the dumps. So all the best to that little fuck face, big eyebrow son of a bitch, Sean Planche.
Thank you very, very much, Coach. We look forward to watching this week's tilt. And, as always, good luck out there.
Thank you so much for having me, Tim. Keep up the good work, and all the best in this little wrap-up.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Ciao.
There you have it. Some strong words from the comeback kid. There's a lot of chirping going on, and it's going to be decided on the ice this week. Timbo. Great story. Compelling and rich. Gentlemen, that's all I've got for you this week. Good luck next week, unless you're Jake. Keep battling. It's close. Second half kickoff starts now. Week 10. Boop.